안녕하세요. Listen, there's something wrong with the mic. I don't know how to fix it. Yes, I've tried everything. I've tried to kind of conceal it with a little bit of a filter, but if you, an eagle-eared viewer, still hears a little bit of an echo, no you didn't. Thank you! Yeah, surely you do this too, right? A song comes up on shuffle. It's got you feeling some type of way. But no matter how hard you try, you'll find that there aren't quite enough words to describe how it makes you feel. Because as far as you're concerned, it sounds exactly like the color blue. Or you've tasted this song, right? You've tasted the song with your ear tongue, and ear tongue says that it tastes so much like yellow. What, no? Fine, well, hello Earth Dimension. My name is Nayaka. I'm a digital artist, music lover, and apparently a massive freak. So, playing into that a little bit. Today, on this channel, I'm gonna be starting a new series called Playlists to Color Palettes. And this is a challenge where I'm gonna be trying to draw something using only the colors that I associate with a certain song. And kicking us off, of course, is the very first color of the rainbow. Pink! Dude, I love a good Pink song, okay? Pink songs to me are songs that feels incredibly sparkly and pretty, and I'm of the belief that a good Pink song is a song that makes you feel like you're being hugged, but you're all alone, you know, because it's warm and cold at the same time. And usually, how a song does this is by having like a lot of harmonies, be that by strings, synths, vocals, whatever, and then layer it in such a way that feels so full, but also empty at the same time. You see why I resort to colors. And I don't know, I'm just such a big fan of that feeling, so to me, any song with even the slightest hint of pink is instantly perfect with zero debate. So now you see, the reason I pick Tell Me by 50/50 for this video is because that it is probably the most Pink song that has ever pinked in recent memory. There's just such a certain way that this really simple 4-on-the-floor beat really grounds this very loose, I wanna say slightly swung, floaty melody. I mean, like, watch this, right? So that's like, what, 2 syllables per beat? And then it takes a second to breathe before snapping back into the grid. I don't know, it's just such a hypnotizing little pattern, and listening to it kind of makes me feel like I'm on a, I don't know, like a conveyor belt or something, or like I'm a little raft floating down the river. You know, just some real steady, controlled motion. So one of the few things that I knew I wanted to do when it came to approaching this illustration is playing with that 4-on-the-floor beat thing. Because like, so here are like 4 panels, right? 1 beat, 1 panel, 1 measure, 1 panel, 1 lyric, 1 panel, who cares? It's the same either way. I just want you to feel like you're listening to the song with your eyes, okay? And on a sidebar, I also want this drawing to feel like a GIF set that you might find on Tumblr. And something that's quite fundamental about this song is that it's about a crush, not so much about love. Do you understand? So what I basically tried to do here was draw what it feels like to have a crush, you know what I mean? So the panel in the middle over here, we have this really pretty girl, right? Who's taking up our entire view. Her hair looks healthy, her teeth are sparkling, the lights are reflecting against her glasses, it looks like glitter. And then for the panel right below her, that's us, baby. Just cut up to the eyes. The rest of us, not important. Because the best thing we could be doing right now is to be looking at her, like admiring her, allowing for that smell of shampoo and sweat to hypnotize you, make you stupid. And we're gonna just punch ourselves a little bit because you start to notice that your heart beats a little faster every time she goes, "Hey, wifey! What's up, GF?" Like completely ignoring it. Some of us aren't quite as straight as she is. Anyways, here's me trying to build a reference using the only online 3D modeler I could find that wasn't behind like a paywall or something. Because I feel like my fatal flaw as an artist is that I spend so much time practicing how to draw organic shapes that I'm really rusty whenever it comes to inanimate objects. You know, like bottles, buildings, tunnels like this, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know, maybe building a 3D reference like this could simplify the process, you know, help me understand what I'm really looking at. However, it is incredibly important to note that day, the Wi-Fi was so slow that I could not watch any tutorials on how to use this stupid website. And yet, I guess because the modeler loaded in first, I was still able to make these like layered rings at like a weird angle. Though because again, I can't watch any tutorials, I couldn't figure out how to make any other shape besides a square and a circle. I did not know how to adjust thickness or rotate the camera, and in the end, this did not help me at all. I wasted about 45 human minutes on this. So in the end, I just kind of used my imagination to the best of my abilities, but kept the PNGs sitting there just in case I needed somebody to mock me, you know? In case I needed some sort of trophy to attest for my patience so that we can all celebrate how much time I wasted on that stupid website. But yeah, now that we have the vibes down, let me set the scene for you, okay? It's an all-girls boarding school on a field trip to like a carnival or something. And you know, like, as is typical with communities like this, you will already have some sort of opinion about each person, even though you don't really know them that well. You're just kind of like, you know, I already have my relationships, I have my friends, you know, I don't really need to go outside of the people that I already like. You have your cliques, you know what I mean? But then, tragedy strikes. What kind of tragedy? I'm not sure. Let's spin the wheel. The Black Plague, Squid Game, zombie apocalypse. Oh no, every pony, look outside the window. It looks like the ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba has struck upon us yet again. Whoa, no! Our entire class has been wiped out too! Looks like I'm forced to hang out with this super hot chick I don't know. In my mind, this particular screenshot here happens right after like an intense chase scene with like a monster. And this is like the cool down moment where they finally get to take a deep breath in and process what the hell just happened. So here are these two young women aimlessly wandering around this cheesy ass theme park that was once cheerful and ironic and is now literally their graveyard. Grappling with the fact that they might be the only two people left alive in this world that they know of, at least. They kind of come to this conclusion that maybe they have to let go of their pre-written biases and try to work together and be friends and just try to get to know each other. Maybe there's something more there than I thought. And so when they finally get the chance to sit down and just debrief, they just talk to each other about everything. They'll talk about the plans that they made for next week but will never ever get to see through. They'll talk about the friends that they lost. They'll talk about the dreams. They'll talk about the money that they saved but will never get to use. They'll tell each other like they've known each other their whole lives. One lyric that I just found in the song that I thought was really funny is, "You're not even my type, but I'll like ya." But I think this is what that is, though. Like, finding companionship in the type of person that you would never, would naturally come to be friends with unless the situation was pretty dire and you're super freaking lonely, which, if it wasn't obvious, these two are. And even though their meet cute wasn't the most conventional, I feel like there's a lot of value in stories like this, because then instead of having like an innate love for another person, like an innate attraction to them, you're gonna have to actively choose to care for them every day, to be there for them. And through this big grand bonding exercise, you basically come to find that, you know what, I actually kind of like you. I just feel really comfortable around you, you know? I feel like I can talk to you about anything and I feel like you get me. But despite the trust you'll have for each other, you will not be saying any of this out loud because it's cheesy as hell and she's homophobic. But yeah, on that note, our drawing is finally done. Do you like it? I think it's okay. What kind of surprised me is that despite the fact that like what I had in my head going into this was like kind of blurry, like super duper vague, this kind of weirdly enough captured exactly what I wanted. I said I wanted lonely, futuristic, young love, color pink, and I delivered, I think. I think I ate. It's currently my phone lock screen, that's how much I like it. And yeah, stay tuned for the other installments of Playlist to Color Palettes because I do plan on doing more. I do have an illustration for the orange one done. I just don't know when it'll come out because I do actually happen to be at a really pivotal time of my life right now. So, if you haven't heard, I'm currently trying to squeeze my big fat booty into animation school. So, if you thought Nayaka Ottororin was inactive before, well, get ready, because I'm about to be the blue people avatar of niche speed paint YouTube, okay? Radio silence for 3 years straight, a bit of a press tour. 2 years more of silence, come back with a banger, make $1 million, and then leave! So you see, as much as I would love to make like 1 million videos every day forever, the angel on my shoulder says that Nayaka is gonna have to stop operating ottororin as if she has all the free time in the world, because she doesn't. And you know, she's growing up and she has all this life stuff to live and adjust to, so yeah, that was the update I thought you should know before I sign off. As I said in my last video, I stream on Twitch every second Sunday, and on Twitch I typically stream myself drawing or editing. And one last thing for those of you who want to support me by money, you can tip me on Ko-Fi, where for every donation that's $4 or over, you will get a drawing from me. Anything you want. Anything, within reason. I am not drawing your butthole. And I should clarify, because some people get confused, this is not a commission, it's more like my way of saying thank you. You know what I mean? It's more like a goodie bag. Like, hey, yeah, thanks for coming to my party. You know what I mean? That's what the $4 doodles are for. So, if you're interested, you can do that, but absolutely zero pressure, okay? I'm already honestly pretty freaking thankful that there are several eyeballs looking at this channel right now. But seriously speaking, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you whenever I see you. Please have a wonderful rest of your day. And remember, quit naming your kids stupid things, asshole!